28-7, the Kansas City Chiefs are victorious on Monday Night Football, dominating the Washington Commanders in a decisive second half that sees this team pull away and play exceptional football to close Monday Night Football and Week 8 of the 2025 season out. Kent Swanson celebrating here with Matthew Lane. Matty, how we doing?
Listen, we're doing great. The Chiefs are up to 3 in a row right now. The offense got humming after a couple unfortunate interceptions to start this game. The second half offense, the team in general looked great. And so, it felt like once they kind of got out of the, hey, this might be a trap game, we got the Chiefs that we've seen the last couple weeks, which has been a lot of fun to watch, I think, for everybody involved. So, yeah, this is a good Monday night game heading into a big matchup next week.
Very big game next week, which, Chiefs fans are going to probably turn the page pretty quick on this one. This was an NFC opponent. This was Marcus Mariota, but we still
don't disrespect Marcus Cam Newton Mariota when he plays against any version of the Chiefs. The amount of times that man still shrugs off defensive linemen in the pocket is asinine compared to how he plays versus 30 other teams in the NFL.
Here's the thing. I think one of the keys to this game was if the Chiefs could avoid Marcus Mariota throwing a touchdown to himself, I think the Chiefs' chances were going to be pretty good. And sure enough, the Chiefs were able to accomplish that. Marcus Mariota does not complete a pass to himself in this game. Does lead the Washington Commanders in rushing today, 8 carries, 28 yards. But you kind of mentioned it off the top, Maddie. This was kind of a sluggish start, a couple turnovers, a miscommunication with, Hollywood Brown and Mahomes in the red zone on 3rd and 10 takes probably at least 3 points off the board. I still don't know if that pass gets completed, even if the communication is perfect on that play. But 3 points off the board there. And then just an uncharacteristic, drop from Travis Kelce through his hands, tip ball, a tip ball. Sorry. Shouldn't have added the
characteristic.
A little characteristic this year. 4 interceptions for Mahomes on the season, 2 of them via Travis Kelce's hands in untimely plus territory. But that's okay. I think I think there's a little bit of noise there with that first half with those moments, but the Chiefs were moving the ball offensively. They did some good things still in that half. Just kind of stalled out with some turnovers. But then they just get absolutely rolling in the second half of this game. Mahomes, basically the 3 possessions that they get to start the second half, they just mow team. They mow the Washington Commanders over. Here it is: 8 plays, 80 yards. Then 8 plays, 75 yards.
Seems
13 plays, 94 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just
efficient.
They've had some moments like that the last few weeks where they're just an absolute buzzsaw for a consistent stretch, and this was absolutely the case in this game with the Chiefs putting up 21 points in the second half.
Yeah, well, I think you said it right. To start this game, Washington clearly came out with, I think, a little bit more energy. They came out like this game meant a little bit more to their season-long thing. They don't have Jaden Daniels out there. They're getting some of their wide receivers coming back. So it felt like they had a little bit more energy, and defensively they were flying around and they were hitting, and the Chiefs weren't playing bad, but it just felt like they weren't matching that energy. And then as the game went on, the Commanders kind of leveled out. The Chiefs were turning it up a little bit, especially coming out of halftime. And ultimately the talent ended up taking over and winning out pretty clearly in the second half. But they did get punched in the face to start this game. And that is something that if you're dealing with a potential trap game in between, a big game against the Lions, potential Super Bowl matchup, going into your divisional matchup with the Raiders, with the Bills on deck. This was the definition of a trap game here, and they get punched in the mouth early, but then they are able to kind of recover from it and make some adjustments throughout the game. So it was really nice to see the offense make adjustments, and then even the defense. As the game went on, you could see Spags was kind of getting a better read on what the Commanders were trying to do with Mariota in there, how that offense was operating. And as the game went on, it just kind of felt like they were getting choked out a little bit more. McLaurin made a couple nice catches to give them a lot of life, put points up on the board. But outside that, after those first couple drives, it didn't really feel like they had any air to do anything.
Yeah, Chiefs kind of had a beat on them in the second half, it felt like. I mean, you saw Jalen Moore absolutely sniffing out a slip screen. You saw some of the blitzes starting to get home a little bit more. Just a lot of good things there. Even that touchdown to Mariota to Terry McLaurin, extending the play, and then Terry making a great play. Like that's the lone touchdown for this team. They were going to kick a field goal in that.
Yeah.
If they don't catch that pass. So I mean the lone touchdown is even, barely a thing. But yeah, this offense was a lot of fun to watch. I was talking about it at halftime. I said, Patrick Mahomes was leading the Chiefs in rushing. At halftime, the Chiefs are 0-3 when Patrick Mahomes leads the team in rushing, and he does not lead the Chiefs in rushing in the second half or in total for the game. In fact, he winds up being third because Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt both go and exceed Patrick Mahomes' 4 carries for 30 yards. Mahomes actually lost yards rushing in the second half. But yeah, I think the Chiefs were just in complete control and just 3 just suffocating consistent drives, including that 96-yarder that I think someone said went 119 yards with the 25 yards of penalties as well. That the Chiefs incurred in that possession. So just an absolutely dominant exclamation point on Monday Night Football here. And Mahomes, 25 of 34, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, those 2 interceptions, I think at least one of them for sure is not his fault. You might give him half of one. You might throw a little bit of blame on him for the back shoulder, but not all that much. An absolutely dominant performance from MVP. I don't think he did anything today to dissuade people from calling him the MVP yet again.
Except for the people that look at the box score and see the 2 interceptions, right? And like you said, like one of them is definitely not on him. And we could quibble back and forth with the Hollywood Brown one being partially or not. Either way, you don't expect that ball to get intercepted, right? Like if your wide receiver shows any fight, that's at least just an incomplete pass. So I'm with you. He's playing like an MVP, like the MVP at this point in time. It's also early, right? I just think these kind of 2 interceptions, if they happen, like things like this happen again, even if they're not his fault, they stack up at the end of the year. We got a long time to talk about the MVP. So like just in this game, Mahomes was great. I thought, especially after those 2 interceptions, to bounce back from that. And like early in this game, I think you could see the Chiefs offense as a whole, but especially Mahomes didn't have confidence in the offensive line to hold up for some deeper dropbacks. Anytime they were holding the ball a little bit, he was getting pressured early in this game. I think you could see that confidence in the offensive line being able to hold up a long time starting to wane. And so you got a little bit of the antsy Mahomes where he was looking to run a little bit earlier. And then I think as the game settled in a little bit, as the offensive line started to play better, you could see him get more and more trust in it. And they saw them push the ball downfield a little bit. You saw him kind of waiting around the pocket to see if something would break open before turning into that creative mode. And once he got that going in the second half, like that second half performance was flawless. He was, absolutely perfect. He was making some incredible plays and throws throughout the entire second half. Some of those throws he was making while running towards the line of scrimmage, adjusting to linebackers or safeties flying up at him were absolutely perfect. So yeah, another great performance by Mahomes. I think as long as he continues to feel comfortable back behind this offensive line, he's going to keep playing this good. And so hey, shout out to the offensive line for sticking through it. I know they're down 2 starters, and I think that showed early in the game. But as it went on, they continued to kind of impose their will a little bit, I think, on this Washington Commanders pass rush.
I thought the offensive line played significantly better in the second half. Like it wasn't perfect, but I think there was a little bit of energy there, like you said, from that front, little physicality, trying to play through the tackles a little bit. Especially Jalen Moore, trying to see how he was going to handle that bull rush. And I think things just kind of settled in. And yeah, I think you kind of forgot a little bit at times that the Chiefs were down 2 offensive line starters for this game, with Mike Caliendo playing guard and then Jalen Moore playing that tackle spot again. So credit to them, I think, for getting better as the game went on, being able to, lean on some guys and run the football a little bit more effectively in the second half, which I think you saw them do. That was a good performance, I think, from the offensive line in the second half there. And yeah, Mahomes still had to make some things happen, but I think about one of those plays, protection held up nicely when on that 30+ yard, the second 30+ yard catch to Travis Kelce. He was just sitting there waiting for that 7 to come open. He had all day to wait for Travis to clear that linebacker. It was taking some time.
It took forever too.
It was taking some time.
No, okay, listen. Shout out Travis Kelce. When he caught that ball in the flat and he had to put his head down and really start pumping them arms, he got moving, okay? On that ball right up the side, they showed the replay. That man, we just went to the stats, but that man put his head down and started moving them arms. So he got flying on that one. But yeah, I'm with you. The offensive line played a little bit better. I thought they did a good job, whether not adding like direct help or even direct chips. They were doing a lot better job of, I think, aligning players off the left side in the second half. They were just giving whatever defensive end from the Commanders that was over on that side just something else to think about, a body to think about coming out of there. And that way they weren't getting quite as quickly into their bull rush moves against Jalen Moore. And I think that's where they got him off guard a little bit early. And I think we saw it even last week. If you attack him quickly, you can catch his chest. He's definitely taking a couple steps to get into position. And I think we even saw the Raiders do it a couple times. They were able to get on top of him quickly with using length going through his inside shoulder. And I think we saw that early in the game. Well, the Chiefs countered that by saying, hey, we're just going to align a tight end over here. Now Jalen doesn't have to worry so much about being beaten by speed. He can set his anchor a little bit faster. And I do think that was one adjustment they made that went well. They also added in a lot more. It felt like play action, got under center a little bit more. They were moving the pocket even just a little bit. And I think getting some of that movement and that motion allowed everybody to kind of settle in. And then you get to that second half. And like we were saying, he felt fine back there then. He didn't look antsy anymore, waiting for guys to break open. And then when he did get pressured, he was composed while running around rather than kind of doing so a little bit frantically like he was in the first half. And shout out to the run game. I thought the offensive line did some good job in the run game too. They were opening some holes for Isaiah Pacheco and Mr. Kareem Hunt that I don't know if the offensive line this year has been great all the time. I don't know if the running backs have maximized when they have been good, but I don't know if they've been great on the ground so far this year. I thought they were pretty good today. They were doing a good job of getting some seals in. I think you saw the nice little toss play to Brashard Smith. That was a fun little mix-up. So, yeah, I'm with you. The offensive line, as the game went on, really settled in, and I think kind of took over a little bit for the offense.
Chiefs were very efficient when they got into the red zone, too. 4 for 4 in the red today. 4 for 4 touchdowns in the red. That was I think a big piece of this game too. Is just, seeing them continue to move the ball, getting a little bit more creative. Like they definitely, the menu's a lot open in the red, open in the red zone right now. You saw the Rashee Rice near touchdown, him and the Wildcat. That thing was nasty because they had hat for Xavier Worthy if they hand the ball off on the Wildcat, and then they had GT counter for Rashee, just leading them right down to the goal line. Just absolute nasty work, but really smart. Like I loved the offensive execution from this team. Andy's aggressive, goes for it on a couple fourth downs here. Like you're seeing this 4th and goal if you're watching the YouTube right now. Making this play here to Kareem Hunt. That was after a very questionable spot. But like, just, man, it was good to see this team go out and execute and just have a really clean half of football. Almost lost the fumble right with Rashee Rice, but other than that, like there really wasn't a ton to complain about. This offense was just absolutely humming in the second half of this game, just kind of leaving a good taste in your mouth heading into a big week against Buffalo. Man, we got all kinds of stuff that we got to talk about on the defensive side of the ball. We got some stuff to talk about on the offensive side of the ball still. And we got Tucker D. Franklin to bring in here. So we're going to keep this thing going. I do want to remind you, I'm calling all Chiefs fans here. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field like thousands were today. But you could be there for the coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs and an outstanding organization. It's been very fun to be working with our friends at GEHA, and I'm excited to be working with Tucker D. Franklin. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this break.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Tucker D. Franklin in the sickest Chiefs jacket.
It is a pretty sweet jacket.
Look at that, man. Like, come on, brother. I love it.
I about spilled my whole glass of bourbon trying to unmute myself on my soundboard. Oh my gosh, that was almost catastrophic. But you guys know I got to bring the swag.
Of course you do. How you feeling after that? How you feeling after that performance from the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm feeling a lot better than I did at halftime, guys. I'll tell you that. I mean, I was pretty warm at half. But look, I want to start by just reading some stats to you guys, okay? I think that this is an important thing to start off. I know the chat already wants me to talk about the D-line. I talked about the D-line a whole lot on Twitter, and we will talk about the D-line eventually. But guys, we still got to talk about the good stuff that happened in that football game first. Patrick Mahomes, this is from @KC Sports Network on Twitter. Ever heard of him? Patrick Mahomes in the second half tonight versus the Commanders. 17 for 19, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. From Rainey Gisarelli on Twitter, the Chiefs have more wins by 13-plus points, 5, in their last 6 games than they had in all of 2024, 3, or 2023, 4. Travis Kelce recorded 6 receptions on 8 targets for 99 yards and a touchdown against the Commanders, with all of his production coming against zone coverage. This marks Kelce's most receiving yards against zone since week 3 of 2023 against the Chargers. That was 103 yards. Funny enough, the Chiefs still haven't had a receiver go over 100 yards receiving this year, which is kind of crazy to think about. That's crazy. Another Travis Kelce stat, he joins Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez, both the Pro Football Hall of Famers, ever heard of them, and Rob Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham as the only tight ends in NFL history with 80-plus career receiving touchdowns. The Chiefs have also scored at least 28 points in 60 games since Patrick Mahomes became the full-time starter in 2018. That's the most in NFL history. Patrick Mahomes also on the run tonight. This is per Next Gen stats. That's of 8+ miles per hour versus the Commanders. 6 of 8, 86 pass yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 149.0 passer rating. So you should probably keep him in the pocket. But oh wait, if you keep him in the pocket, he's also going to tear you apart. So Patrick Mahomes is on an absolute other level right now. He is playing out otherworldly. I know the term generational, guys, gets thrown out a whole lot. Especially in today's day and age. It's been a superlative that's been thrown out a whole lot. It should be thrown out every single time when talking about Patrick Mahomes, because there has not been and there never will be another quarterback better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, I fully agree with you here. Yeah, I said, the Kent didn't want to agree because he got Josh Allen on deck. I understand, but
I was just, hey, look,
agree
you
with
had
you
talked in like
that
5 minutes, Maddie. I was trying to let you jump in here.
That Patrick Mahomes is, it's the best quarterback that I think we've all got to see, and it's really nice and it's a lot of fun. I think when you have a game like this, where especially in the second half, like you really get to see kind of it all start to come out, and like he's not the same player he was when he took everyone's like attention and stole the hearts of everybody watching him in 2018 and 2019. It's a little bit more controlled now. It's a little bit more boring, so to speak, but you have every now and then there's a few games that pop up where it really shows it. And I think this was one of those games. So yeah, I think it's nice this year to really get to appreciate Patrick Mahomes with more fun and not just have to really dive into the degree and say, well, actually, if you look at what he had to do here and how much he had to affect on this play, and he had to read this, and he had to read that, and then the ball was still dropped, not having to do that all the time, but just going to say, hey, look, go watch the game and you can just see for yourself. Like, it's a lot more fun to do it this way than it has been the last couple years.
I think there's like so many iterations of Mahomes that we've seen over the course of his career already. I know, he's just 30, but like, I think getting to, see a version of him that's just confident with his protection and how far that goes for him and like how much he elevates player. Like Juju Smith-Schuster's had a hard time finding work outside of Kansas City, and like he makes it work with him. And I don't want to diminish, some of these stars like Kelsey, an aging Kelsey, and Rasheed and Xavier Worthy, but like just simply having confidence in the offensive line, you can see how different things look for him this year. And like that just simply wasn't always on the case. Like the Chiefs are on left tackle 2 this season already, and they're on right guard 1 or right guard 2 this season. And yet here we are, and I think Mahomes looked confident yet again for a large chunk of this game, and then you just saw how dominant he was. So it's so encouraging to see. I do have some bad news, guys. This is from Warren Sharp. Travis Kelce's stat line: 3 targets, -1 yards, 1 catch, 1 tipped ball interception. I mean, that's just Oh wait, that was at 7:52 this morning or this evening, and then he just proceeded to completely ball out after that. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. My apologies. I saw that stat from Warren Sharp and I got really bummed, but then I remembered that Travis Kelce kind of was awesome after that. So
he didn't offer a correction for that stat. He didn't offer.
No, he wouldn't. There's no chance he would.
Cool.
Well, I don't know where he got that stat from. Anyways, there's probably somebody else, but But yeah, no, Mahomes was incredible today. He was absolutely incredible today. And in front of Troy.
Yeah, can we talk about that? Can we talk about how Troy was the most saltiest son of a buck ever? I just retweeted a tweet because BJ Kissel retweeted it. KC Sports Network had quote tweeted Troy Aikman. In case you missed it, talk to me when he has at least 33% of my Super Bowl titles. As much as Troy likes to say that doesn't actually bother him, it clearly still bothers him. KC Sports Network said, narrator, Patrick Mahomes would go on to earn 100% of Troy Aikman's Super Bowl titles before turning 29 years old. So that did happen. That was a while ago. And the quote that really just like set me off, Kent, I think we were probably all on the same page of, and I had people in my replies trying to tell me that Mahomes flopped on that. Have you seen that? People are trying to say Mahomes flopped
on the roughing the passer, or
on the roughing the passer,
unnecessary roughness, where Jerjon Newton spun him around 3 times and threw him into the ground after the whistle had been blown for like 3 seconds.
But according to Twitter and the Twitter people, that was a flop. He said, Troy Aikman said, when it comes to quarterbacks, especially this one, they're going to protect them. And I couldn't have rolled my eyes more, just like Kent did. Kent rolled his eyes for the audio-only podcast listeners. Kent rolled his eyes. I couldn't have rolled my eyes harder. I added some explicitives to the end of my tweet about Troy Aikman. It is ridiculous that Troy Aikman continues to hold this grudge. It's very clear that he continues to hold this grudge against Patrick Mahomes. Anyone who thought that was flopping just clearly has Chiefs derangement syndrome. I'm actually cool not hearing Russell Dork ever talk ever again because I hate hearing that dude talk about the NFL rules. I'm sure he was a fine official. I'm sure if he was official in the NFL, was he even? I don't even know because I don't like to listen to him talk. He is awful to hear. Yeah, that's exactly right, Troy. I think that's 100% right, Troy. Shut up. I don't want to hear Russell Dork ever again after he didn't even know what an offensive pass interference was. Do you think I'm supposed to trust that guy after you didn't know what an offensive pass interference call was within 1 yard? I mean, you're telling me he's like, oh, no, this is 1 yard, so I mean, it's offensive pass interference. And I'm supposed to trust that guy after that? And then you got Troy Aikman just piling on to the fire with Russell Dork and Troy Aikman over there. I need a good nickname for Troy Aikman so I can call Russell Dork and Idiot Aikman. I don't know. There's something there with Troy. Chad, okay. Help me with Troy. Okay, sorry.
I agree. Ain't it, man? I agree with Russell York. I'm pissed off that you guys are gonna make me defend Troy Aikman. I didn't think he was bad at all.
You don't have to. Here's the thing, Maddie. You don't have to.
I do. I think Troy Aikman's been great on Monday Night Football. I think he's like top.
Troy Wakeman. That's so good.
It might be Greg Olsen than him. I love his demeanor on Monday Night Football. So the fact that he doesn't care and he just straight up calls it how he sees it, I think is hilarious. He's got FU money now and he knows it because of what they paid him. So like, I think he's very entertaining to listen to. And I think he does a good enough job sprinkling in real football. But like, I don't know, I heard him praise Patrick Mahomes a lot for some of the plays he was making in the second half. So like, I get the tweet thing and that obviously
It's just cover.
I get the thing about the tweet and the Super Bowls and like how Chiefs fans don't like Troy Aikman. I'm not saying anyone's going to like him, but like, I don't know. I think he's been fine as a commentator. I think Chiefs fans have a lot. I think Chiefs fans care more about what Troy Aikman does than what Troy Aikman cares about Chiefs fans.
This is all Josh Briscoe's fault, guys.
It is. This is 100% Briscoe's fault. I had to explain that to Tara today. That was fun.
It was all Josh Briscoe's fault. We're starting to get some quotes from Andy Reid. Charles Goldman. You heard 21 questions this week. It was myself and Charles Goldman. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid on the defense. The first half was weird, but those fourth downs were big. We were able to stop them a couple times. That was a positive. Yeah, like we haven't really talked too much about the defensive side of the ball, but like honestly, it was like a lot of situational defense. Like the Commanders were able to generate some first downs early. And actually, here's a great stat from Price Carter: 32 plays, 194 yards in the first half for the Washington Commanders offensively. Chiefs were able to get some key stops after some long drives on some key downs and hold them to 7 points in that first half. But yeah, the defense was a lot better in the second half. 20 plays, 66 yards in the second half for the Commanders offense. So, Maddie, like just overall thoughts on the defense in this game. I know things kind of got out of hand in the second half and the game script kind of changed, but when that was a neutral game script for a large chunk, there were some problems for the Chiefs.
Yeah, the same thing as we talked about. I thought the Commanders showed up early in this game with they lost Tunsil early, so like that probably played a little bit of a role, but like they did a good job handling that and they kept the same energy. Like they had a lot better energy than I think the Chiefs defense had early, so they were opening up some holes in the run game. Cliff's run game right now is a lot of fun to watch. They were doing so much pulling and double pulling of offensive linemen and then running outside the tackles or hitting it back up in the A gap despite pulling guys like beyond it essentially. So the run game that they were using was a lot of fun. I think it put the Chiefs defense on their heels quite a bit. The Chiefs were really late early in this game getting out to the flats on just about any potential throw whatsoever. And so I think that they put them on their heels, right? And the interception, very helpful. And in terms of keeping the Chiefs in the game a little bit for a while there, or keeping it relatively neutral. So as the game went on, and especially once it became apparent that Washington was going to have to keep pace with what the Chiefs offense was doing, they just had nothing. They did not have a drop back game that could compete with what the Chiefs are doing because they're dealing with Marcus Mariota, and Terry McLaurin was in and out of the lineup. I know he made some nice catches, but he was in and out a lot just coming back in his first game. They didn't have the weapons to be able to compete once they had to drop back. But yeah, I thought early in the game, Washington did a good job keeping the Chiefs defense on their heels. As the game went on, Spags and them got a better read, I think, of what they were doing. They started to play a little bit, the zones were getting a little bit more shallow. They weren't as worried about getting beat over the top. They stopped worrying as much about the run game, especially when it got scripted out because of the score. And then they were able to get out to the flats a little bit quicker. They were able to force Mariota to move off that first read, that little quick out in the flat. And when he did that, you saw why Marcus Mariota is probably still a backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I mean, they weren't able to string stuff together largely because of, I think, the deficiencies of Marcus Mariota. And like, they definitely weren't really getting anything going in the vertical game at all. And that was like, I think that was the deciding factor. They could dink and dunk and they could generate drives and they could get to these third and manageables, but they just didn't have answers. And then they get to fourth and manageables and they still didn't have all the answers all the time. So 7 points from the Chiefs in the first half and then a shutout in the second half. A great performance. From the Chiefs. I know there's some frustration. Like you said, there's some frustration with the pass rush, a little bit tucked, though. I know you said you had some frustrations there.
Boy, do I have frustrations with this pass rush. Oh, my gosh. Look, I know that a lot of the frustration came in the first half. They were able to get home because Samuel Cosme forgot how to block and call a protection there on Mike Dana, and they just let him run free. But that's good. I guess if they let you run free, it is good that they got a sack on a free rush. a lot of times that hasn't happened. So I'm glad that they were able to do that and able to bring Marcus Mariota down. I know that there's probably a little bit of trauma with a lot of Chiefs fans when it comes to Marcus Mariota, and it comes with like playing in Arrowhead Stadium, and there was his ability. I think Maddie mentioned it already earlier in the show, but his ability to just shake defensive like linemen and like pass rushers when he's in the pocket and just make something happen when he's in Arrowhead Stadium is so maddening and so frustrating. But like that's also not anything new for anything that we've seen from this defense, from opposing offenses so far this season. What's so frustrating is this offensive line is better than the Raiders offensive line. That Raiders offensive line is, well, I mean, I don't even know if it'd pass in the UFL, to be honest with you. I think the UFL might eat it up a little bit. Breland Speaks is down there in the UFL eating. I don't want to see Breland Speaks. I do think that this was a step up in competition, so it was going to be a little bit harder for the Chiefs' defensive line. A thin group, which we saw Marlon Tuipulotu for a little bit in the meat of that game, get some run there. I think it was one of the drives in the third quarter. He got a lot of run at the defensive tackle position, just because they don't have a lot of guys there and they're pretty thin. But the fact that they could not get home. And even when they were blitzing, they kind of couldn't really get home either. That's been the most frustrating part. This is a common occurrence. Like, this isn't just a today's game thing, right? Like, this is something that has happened the whole season. They will they're forget about their front four getting home. Even when they blitz a little bit of times, they're not being able to get home and bring down the quarterback. I'm curious where they rank in sacks in the NFL. They cannot be very high, I wouldn't imagine. But I'd have to go and look that up. But it's one of those things where, from the eye test wise, they are getting really late pressures, which then in turn puts a lot of stress on the secondary, which I think the secondary has played really well this year. I think the secondary has played really well, but they can only play so well when the defensive line is allowing Marcus Mariota or whoever it is to sit for 5 seconds in the pocket to let the wide receivers do whatever they need to do to get open. So that's what's most frustrating for me about this defense so far. They came out and they played really well. I think that them stopping the run and kind of snipping that at the butt was really important for them. I mean, I think Bill Krosky-Merritt had 26 rushing yards or something like that. I don't recall. I looked at it earlier, but like he didn't have a very big game. It didn't end up being a very big game for him. So I do think that they were able to kind of get them where they needed to be in terms of where the defense was. But like, man, their pass rush is an issue, and it's continually to be an issue. It's going to be an issue for I think as long as we do these podcasts this season.
Some updates from Andy Reid. I'll let you get in on the pass rush if you have any takes, Maddie. Because we've talked a little bit about hey, like maybe it's pass rush instead of running back at the trade deadline. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says running back Kareem Hunt and Nick Bolton both hurt their knees in this game. We'll see how they do. And also we saw, Isaiah Pacheco do the ACL test. Everything turned out okay, and he was quite hyped about that. But the running back room getting a little dinged up here heading into Buffalo next week. So definitely something to pay attention to. This is pure speculation. Michael Carter just got released by the Arizona Cardinals. So there is at least a veteran running back that's played football in the NFL in the last, this season. So there's at least maybe they get some options out there, but just something to pay attention to. Maddie, any thoughts on the pass rush today?
It's bad. It's not good. George Karlaftis is the only guy that seems to be consistently getting pressure at any point in time. And in this game, backup left tackle, rookie right tackle who struggled most of the year, you would expect Karlaftis to have a good game. And I thought George Karlaftis did seem like he was in the backfield quite a bit. He was being very disruptive. When George Karlaftis is your best pass rusher, you still have a little bit of an issue because he's not a quick winner. He doesn't get to the quarterback and finish plays quickly. It takes him a little bit. It's a little bit more of a grind, and that's a guy that you love to have as your second best pass rusher, the cleanup player if somebody else is getting the quick pressure. Without Chris Jones being very effective in this game, it just felt like it was a lot of waiting for Karlaftis to get pressure. And then when he did, Mariota had anywhere to scramble that he wanted to because nobody else was making him move. So that is, I think, where the crux of the issue comes from is, Karlaftis can play good, and he can even have a great game like he did in this game, but it never felt like he was impacting the game at the way that I think he ended up with 9 pressures, according to Pro Football Focus, like right away. It never felt like he was dominating the game like somebody with 9 pressures would have on the game, just because it's not that even that nobody else is winning around him. It's the way he wins doesn't play well when you're winning by yourself. So I think what teams are doing right now, and this, have to go back and watch, is they're spending as much attention to Chris Jones as you would, but now the Chiefs are kind of having to let Karlaftis win because Chris Jones can't dominate double teams. He can't take over every game as he wants, and it creates this very slog of a pass rush when they're not blitzing. And what we saw, even the Commanders, besides the one play, they picked up a lot of the blitzes. Mariota actually had enough time on some of these cover zero plays to get a decent ball out. Now, he didn't, but he had the time to. So I don't know. The pass rush is in a little bit of a tricky spot right now because the numbers are going to keep telling you that it's okay. But week after week, we kind of watched it. It doesn't seem like it's there. It just doesn't seem like they have a big impact on the game.
I do think it's funny that free rush sack that Mike Dana gets. It's the one time the Chiefs don't blitz. Right, like the Commanders don't pick it up because they're trying to slide to the they're trying to slide to the double. They're showing a walked up safety and a linebacker, and they bail out of that, and they tried to slide to that, and like Dana just gets like a completely free rush, just a complete botch, a complete botch by them. But hey. Take them any way you can get them, right? Like, take them any way you can get them, So good on Mike Dana for getting one of those sacks today. More quotes from Andy Reid coming in. Andy Reid on Rashee Rice. This is again from Charles Goldman. I thought he did a good job. I love the way he goes about it. He's so physical out there. He's like having another running back as a wide receiver. And hey, by the way, saw him used kind of as a running back a little bit. Like, you get the Wildcat look with him in the red zone, which I love. I just love that. And then Rashee Rice making a comment on that. I felt like Pat Mahomes. It was pretty cool. Gonna take a snap in the deep red. That's from Rashee Rice there. That was such a sick design. And like, that's one of those players not plays kind of plays, right? Where it's like, it's not like it's like they didn't reinvent the wheel. No. They wildcat snap to Rashee Rice. They put their two best players in the backfield, and they ran a run read GT power or GT counter. And like, I mean, it's not like the elements of that are like reinventing the wheel. It was just a slick little design. I love them getting Rashee involved. And like, honestly, like the red zone offense, I think we talked a little bit about it earlier. Matty, I thought the red zone offense was awesome. Like they were consistently good. Like they just did some good things down there and effectively moved the ball, avoided negative plays for the most part, and put together 4 really strong drives and closed them all out in the end zone.
The Chiefs' red zone offense this year has felt generally pretty good, especially as guys got healthy. Now, I still think they run into some of the same issues when they just have to sit there and dial up a pass play, a drop back pass play. There's a lot of guys covered. There's a lot of Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce just sitting on the front line of the end zone, running like little hitches, like little spacing hitches. And if you don't have somebody, the one route win behind them, it's kind of a wasted space. And it becomes Mahomes go bail us out. It's like I don't love some of their pure drop back game, but the way they're getting into the run stuff, some of the designer plays with Rashee Rice coming out of the backfield. We've seen Worthy. We've seen all these different guys come out of the backfield, whether on handoffs, little pop passes across the middle, whatever it is when they're designing stuff. I think it's gone really, really well. And Mr. Kareem Hunt being such an effective short yardage back, when they get into that low red zone, you can essentially just run the ball a couple times. Like you get within the 3-yard line, 2 runs is probably putting it in the paint, maybe just 1. So like they have that as this fail safe every single time as well. So yeah, I think generally speaking, the offense down in the red zone has been very good this year. Some of the designer stuff they've done this year has worked really well. They've gotten away from quite as many of those little shovel passes, which is great. Less of those because everybody knows they're coming now. And now you see a lot more of the jet stuff coming across, and they're trying to get the ball out to the edges quicker than roll Mahomes out and then hit back underneath on the shovel. So that's been a nice change. I would just like to see a little bit better element to the drop back game in the red zone. Like, what do you have? I know you don't have a bunch of man beating wide receivers, but you know how you fix that? You don't run a bunch of spacing routes to the front line of the end zone with half of your eligible receivers on the play. And so I would like to see that continue to improve, because I do think when they're outside the 10-yard line, it can bog down a little bit. Not this game, but in other games it has.
I want to go back to the Rashee Rice play a little bit, because that robbed us. It was the right call, right? He was short of the line to gain the end zone. But that robbed us of a really sick screenshot of him flashing the grill and then the fireworks going off behind him when he scored the touchdown. Did you guys see that? Because that might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I hope that it gets clipped somewhere. If not, I'm going to go back and try to clip it myself. I don't even know how I can do that. But I really want that clip of just him with flashing the grill, the fireworks going off behind him. The Arrowhead fireworks were on one. They looked damn good tonight. It looked like a scenes over there at Arrowhead.
They got some good views of it too.
Yeah, they did. They were ready. They were ready for those Arrowhead fireworks. The ESPN crew was. I did see a tweet or a quote, from Charles Goldman. He put out there from Rashee Rice. He said that Rashee Rice confirms he was trying to throw the ball to the ref on the penalty. He said, quote, "It's okay, we won the game," went on to the next play. I originally did not buy that. I originally was like, yeah, he's going to say that he tried to throw the ball to the ref. But then they went to like the sky cam view of it. And I think he was trying to throw it to the ref. I really do. And then you have Benjamin Albright saying out here like Rashee Rice is a piece of shit, basically. So he's tweeting out about that, and then didn't redact that one. So that's interesting.
He walked it back. He walked it back
Okay.
when he did say, "Oh, I've been informed or saw that he was trying to throw it to a ref." Which, listen, I get Ben's confusion on that one because like even after the sky cam thing, I was a little hesitant because. It looked like a pretty good flick of the football right into someone's helmet, like you were talking trash. Like there was the wrist pop. He flicked the fingers out. He was staring right at him. Now you got to push that. You're in the helmet. Things are condensed a little bit. You probably don't see him walking up, but it looked pretty bad on camera. Like he threw it right into his head.
You saw though, like he went right back to pick up the football.
Right.
Like it was like, oh, let me go pick that up for you there. Like it was definitely
I took that as regret knowing he was getting flagged at first. I really did. I was like, oh,
that ref immediately went boom. I mean, that was a quick draw. Russell Dork probably loved it.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I think this is definitely a personal foul on Rashee Rice. I can read intent from here in New York. It was funny to see like Andy and Rashee on the sideline. And then Rashee like making his case and it being like whatever it was first. Like, it was all right, fine, go back in. Like
he didn't even miss a play.
Rashee didn't even
miss a
get
play.
Rashee must have done some good convincing because Andy's like, okay, fine. It wasn't like it was like zero. There was zero punishment for that one.
We do a lot of on-field. Rashee Rice is taking the Travis Kelce role. What are the odds that he takes the Travis Kelce role on the side, like with Andy Reid? Like you're clearly a troublemaker, but like we know you're not trying to be a bad person. You're trying to work on it. So like I like you for it. Like what are the odds that Rashee Rice takes that role? Just the only reason I think about is that interaction. Like he was clearly explaining to Reid, and Andy was like, "Okay, we're not even gonna like make you sit out of play. Go back in there and get him, kid.
Go ahead and get him." Quarterback Patrick Mahomes. On 21 unanswered points. We talked about executing. We weren't doing that. We had to match their energy and execute at a higher level. We ended up doing that in the second half. And like Maddie, you talked about it earlier. It's like, yeah, it was the energy, right? Like I think the Commanders definitely had an energy about them. They brought some energy to Arrowhead. A weird energy they tried to bring to Arrowhead. They tried to slop it up. They tried to, get aggressive with some fourth down decisions just to try to like set a tone. And like it didn't even entirely work. But they still kind of figured things out, right? Like they still, they still were keeping it close. It was 7-7 at the half, and hey, good on Dan Quinn and that team for trying to slop some things up in the first half. It just wasn't enough, and the Chiefs eventually figured it out and went absolutely nuclear. So that was enjoyable to see. Patrick Mahomes on wide receiver Rashee Rice's wildcat play. You get 4 and 1 in the backfield, and that's tough for defenses. He says he can play quarterback. I've seen him throw, so I don't know about that. We might have to stick with him running back there. So I don't know. Were you guys? Do you think it was a true run? Do you think it was a run read, or do you think it was just pure like, hey, we're gonna fake this to Worthy, and then we're gonna run this thing back here? Do you think she was actually reading that thing out? And that the only caveat I will say is the snap was bad enough that you kind of abort the read at that point. But Maddie, do you think there was legitimately a read for Rashee Rice to actually read that thing out? Because I think he read it wrong if he did.
I don't think if you put a skill position, I don't think if you put a skill player that wants the rock in the backfield, it's ever really a read play. They are never giving that ball up in a million years. That ball is theirs as soon as they touch it. So no, there was no, like, there might have been a real read play, but it was not in fact one. There's no chance.
I was reading. I was like, that's probably a give read there, but like at the same time, it's like the ball was kind of at his feet, so like you couldn't exactly like.
And it's a receiver. It's like probably one of the 3 most dangerous players in the entire NFL with the ball in their hands. He's not giving it away to somebody else.
Who did he hand off? I can't remember. I can't recall the play off the top of my head because they didn't tweet out like a highlight of it. But like, who was the guy he would have handed off to?
Worthy.
Oh,
dude, the play was sick.
It would have worked.
I thought it would be funny if it was like Kareem Hunt. And it was like, there's no shot.
No,
he's
the reason the play was sick, the reason the play was so sick is it was such a simple concept. Like, it wasn't world beating, but like they have Mahomes flexed out away from the play, and so they take one over there. They bring one over there. They're hat for hat with the 2 receivers, out flex to the left. If they give the ball to Worthy, it is hat for hat, 2 of your best blockers out there on the edge. And it's just a foot race with literally nobody out there. Mm-hmm. And then you've got GT counter to Rasheed with lead blockers just running up the field. And like, everything was going to work on that play.
Yeah.
Like everything. And like, so like, I love the concept. I think the concept was brilliant. It's like everything was working. It's just simple. It's like, hey, we're either going to give it to the fast guy and our second best skill player, or we're going to let our best dynamic skill player kind of take the ball. It was brilliant. It was so simple, but it was awesome. It was awesome to see. I very much enjoy it. And I think, give it to Worthy one time and see what happens.
No.
If Mahomes is your quarterback, sure. If it's Rasheed Rice, no.
Imagine Mahomes running that, like pulling it and running like how Rasheed ran that there.
Or like he GT probably counter. Would, because he's a psycho too.
You could. I'm wondering. We're gonna need a little pop pass on that sometime.
He put his shoulder early in the game. Remember that? Like he was going for the first down, and I saw like that linebacker was coming in. I was like, he's gonna have to lower his shoulder, and he did. It was really close.
It to, like, the hip. Yeah, he took it to like the hip and kind of got like knocked out just short. But like, yeah, he took it to the hip. He's not afraid of contact. He's put he's put that extra cushioning on, and he's willing to throw the body around a little bit. I also really like the triple option they ran too. That was a fun little. I mean, it might have even been a true triple. I guess it might have just been a play fake into an option, but still, like that was a fun little twist on it with what was it? Brashard Smith was that who was coming around from the backside on it? Yeah, that was a fun little play.
Brashard Smith, poor guy, had a nice run taken away on a holding call. That was a bummer.
Yeah. Tyquan Thornton's been sent to the shadow realm because everyone's healthy. He played like 5 snaps.
That's a good point.
Big Bob was wide open. Big Bob almost got a touch. He was wide open on that last touchdown. He was wide ass open, dude.
Tyquan Thornton's getting one over 40 yards next week against Buffalo. You heard it here first.
Imagine.
I'm just saying. Hey, look, we've got exclusive video / audio if you're an audio only listener from the locker room, plus Toast Game right after this.
You're not even going to let me tell them who it is. I love that. Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that my favorite touchdown is the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. You want spreads? They got it. Over-unders? DraftKings got you covered. Same-game parlays, regular parlays? DraftKings has it, and you need it. And here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Tucker, I'm sorry for not letting you tease.
Handsome guy in that promo.
Yeah. Good point. I'm sorry for not letting you tease who we have video from.
Why are
My
you
apologies.
emphasizing it like that?
There's one of them that's pretty good. There's one of them that literally, I don't know if you guys were watching me, only me while you guys were talking. I don't know if you're watching only me. There's one that who I saw it was, and it made me smile. And it made me laugh that we have this guy. Okay.
Just tell us then.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Here we go. We've got exclusive locker room audio thanks to our friend Herbie Tiopi, our guy Herbie Tiopi, boots on the ground in the locker room right now. As this game is happening, these are just from moments ago inside the winning Kansas City Chiefs locker room. We're going to hear from Mr. Kareem Hunt. We're going to hear from Mr. Xavier Worthy. We are going to hear from Derek Noddy. And the last one I want it to be a surprise. I want to see actually if anyone in the chat can get who it is, because it's not somebody that that a lot of people I think will know by the face. No, I don't want you to guess because I don't want you to get it right because I won't be able to hold it if you.
I think I know. I think I know. It's okay.
I'm playing it. Roll the tape.
You get in the end zone, it's 4th down, and I'm always trying to make something happen and don't want to turn the ball over on the 1 yard line, so I found a way to get in his view and he saw me.
How about your success and the team's success in short yardage situations? What is it that drives you guys?
Take pride into that, man. It's like, I don't care if we block anybody, it's 1 yard. I got to find a way to find a yard. So those guys up front did a great job, though, of, giving me some lanes and stuff like that. So, I just took advantage of it. They made it easy today.
Have you ever been part of a game like the way it started today? Two interceptions for y'all, and then they had an interception and the turnover on downs. How did y'all keep your heads in it, just overcome all that?
I mean, it was all like kind of self-inflicted, so we weren't too much worried. Once we settled down, things became like our brand of football.
How far in the distant memory is that 0-2 start now?
I mean, it was in the memory bank a long time ago. You don't even really. It's football. It happens. You're gonna lose. They're not gonna win every game. I mean, you just need to win the games that matter, and we're gonna continue to do that.
Big game next week against the Bills. How amped up is this team for that?
I would say take every game as what it is. They're a good unit over there. We just need to prepare and have a good week of practice.
What went into tonight's win, especially considering the funny start to the game? 2 interceptions for y'all, and then they had the 2 turnovers on downs and also the interception. What did it take to overcome all that?
I mean, just all about focus on what we can control, handling, focus on the details, things that going back to the basics.
How far in a distant memory is that 0-2 start now?
I mean, it's still part of us. It's still part of the journey. We can never be too high, never be too low.
Big game next week, obviously, against the Bills. How amped up is the team? Knowing now you got the Commanders in the rearview mirror, and now you shift focus to Buffalo.
Man, every game is a big game. Just take one game at a time, go back to study, handle what we got to do.
What was it like getting the interception to end the game?
It's cool. I mean, obviously, go out there and a game like that, and the standard for our defense never changes. So we go out there with the mindset that we'll close the game the right way, and fortunate to be able to go out there and be the one to make the play.
It's your first career interception, so who has the ball right now?
I gave it to one of our equipment guys, so I think he's keeping track of it for me, and I'm hoping I get it back. He might have swiped it from me.
Of course. Who was it, Tuck?
That would be Mr. Jack Cochran, who finished off the game with an interception. I know that a lot of people, I see some people in the chat got Mr. Cochran right away, but that was Mr. Jack Cochran. Did ice the game with the interception. Also had a couple of other appearances in the game that people are not too excited about. But shout out Mr. Jack Cochran.
Tucker, what was my guess?
Your guess was Jack Cochran. I knew that you were going to guess Jack Cochran, so I was like, I cannot have you guess it. I cannot have you guess it. I knew that it should. I knew that I should not allow you to do that because I knew that's who you were going to guess.
The way you were, yeah. it felt right. It just felt right. I don't know who else it would have. I don't know who else it could have been. Honestly, that would have just made us laugh.
Nazi Johnson for getting a penalty, but not even being on the active roster.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Should we talk about the special teams a little bit? Because I know a lot of people are upset about Dave Tobe, and I know that Dave Tobe doesn't actually get the penalties out there, so like that's also a thing that should be clarified. But like, also shout out if we're gonna blame.
He handpicks a few roster spots.
I know he does. I get it. I understand. I get that part of it. But if we're going to blame Dave Tobe for the special teams sucking, we need to also celebrate Dave Tobe for when Harrison Butker kicks a ball and the Washington Commanders receiver just forgets to grab it. I mean, we got to also celebrate Dave Tobe for that as well. So, I mean, look, you take the good with the bad.
I think that's been special teams chat. I think that's it.
No, I got one special teams talk. Dave Tobe's a great special teams coordinator. Like, I think everybody knows that. He's respected. Sure. He's always got that moniker. He gets a lot of good play from guys. He cannot figure out how in the hell to cover the new kick to save his life. The kick coverage team for the Chiefs is just got so many gaps in it. And I don't know if it's failed directional kicking. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not about to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go watch kickoffs. Right. But I just watch other teams, and it's like a wall of players moving down the field. And if a return ever gets broken past a 30, it's because the returner just hits one random cutback and a crease. It just feels like against the Chiefs, there's always space. There's space everywhere for the returner just to pick where he wants to go, and he's always going to make a good return. So it's really weird that Tobe, again, a very good special teams coordinator who was on board and part of like the process of getting this new kick return, this new kick rules and stuff implemented, doesn't have a particularly good feel for how to cover kickoffs like at all. It's crazy to me.
There's still time, and it's a new process for all of these. It's still time. You know, I think there's a lot. Like I think I saw someone say the funniest thing about special teams. It's like the slider on special teams importance like just got cranked to 100 all of a sudden over the course of this season. It just went from like, you know,
teams.
I do.
And now it's
learn to play a real position.
It's like
kid from Vandy blast a 50-yard field goal with bare feet, and we're like over here. How can we make those guys more important?
Yeah. Well,
people jumped the barrier in Vandy and also drilled field goals. But don't worry, the NFL is trying to figure out how to make that position that gets paid millions more important. There's college kids at Vanderbilt that don't even play football that are drilling kicks, and we're trying to make that a more important position. What are we doing here? We've lost the plot.
You know what we should do?
I don't want to talk about Vanderbilt.
We should make the ball just more aerodynamic. And then you know what? We should we should basically force every ball to be returned and every possession start on the 40. That'll do it. That's fun. That's what everybody came to see. That's why we're here. I mean,
I think you should start every possession should start on the 1.
Are we banning field goals too in this world? Because if not, the Cowboys can just kick a field goal on first down every play. Apparently,
that's true.
You get Turpin returning the ball, and then you get like 10 yards. Turpin gets to the 38, and you have like 10 yards to go, and then Brandon Aubrey's kicking a field goal.
Don't get me started. Tucker has heard my entire rant about this. It's terrible. I can't stand it.
I've gotten Matty wound up on this one.
It is always fun to get Matty wound up.
Yeah,
it is.
The few things that you find.
Rarely.
And then you can
very rarely am I the one that
gets
gaslit. Yeah, very rarely am I the one that gets gaslit here. It's usually going the other way around. But no, the specialist in football.
Normally, Maddie's gaslighting in a match.
Yeah.
Matchy lane.
I do think that no, that one's not going to stick. I do think that starting. I think I was onto something there with every possession starting at the 1 yard line. I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I think that's pretty sick.
That's just incentivizing the tush push 3 times from the Philadelphia Eagles just to start, you know.
Well,
you're just increasing the likelihood of the tush push.
That was insane. That wasn't called a fumble, by the way. I don't need to rant about that. You don't.
The Eagles are everything that people pretend the Chiefs have been the last few years.
Yeah. What are they really doing back there?
Actual favoritism for the stupid rule. I think it's toast game time. What do you think, Tuck?
Yeah. I guess. Lily's getting after it. You see that? Dude. It's tough for the audio only listeners.
just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Toast Game, obviously and always brought to you by Ben Holiday, bottled in bond bourbon. I am enjoying the as I always do on these victories. I am running out though. I'm gonna have to figure something out there. Yeah, this is the 8-year, 6-month-old aged bottle, single barrel of Ben Holiday. Been enjoying it very much. So Toast Game brought to you by our friends at Ben Holiday. Tuck.
Me, okay. First and foremost, got to raise the glass to good health. Got out of this game relatively healthy, so I got to give a first toast to good health. I know there were some bumps and bruises, some nicks and some scrapes, but nothing that the training team can't handle going into a short week. By the way, against the Buffalo Bills. Imagine if this was flipped, fellas. Imagine if the Buffalo Bills had a short week coming to Kansas City. Imagine if the script was flipped. And how much everybody would think that was rigged for the Buffalo Bills. But nevertheless, I still got to give a hearty cheers, raising my glass to good health. It's not my only toast game, though.
Nope.
I've got to take the low-hanging fruit here, fellas. I apologize, but this is what I get for going first. I get to talk about Patrick Mahomes. I get to talk about how Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback there is, and there was, and there ever will be, and he continues to show it on a week-to-week basis, and it's not even close. Give it to him right now. I don't care. He's the MVP of this league. It doesn't even matter. You don't even have to play out the rest of the sport. You don't even have to play out the rest of the season. Give it to him right now. Patrick Mahomes is playing at a higher clip than anyone. He is on a higher plane than any other quarterback in the National Football League. He doesn't need a running back to average 123 yards in their wins for him to win football games. He doesn't need to have another weapon take over for him. He is the weapon. Patrick Mahomes is the weapon. Patrick Mahomes is MVP, and I can confidently say that in week 9 of the NFL season. Patrick Mahomes gets my toast game.
Tucker's cutting a promo.
That was pretty good. I didn't even think I didn't know what I was going to say when we started this, to be honest with you.
I know. That's why you picked Mahomes.
What? Then go first then, Kent. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
No, I know. I could tell. Like, we've been doing this long enough. It's definitely like you were going through the whole production part of it, and you're like, oh, yeah, I have to pick someone.
Why do you think I started with good health? So I could think a little bit longer.
That's why you started it 5 years ago.
Actually, yes. No, that is why I started when we started this.
What do you got, Maddie?
Me. Okay. Got a couple options here. You know what? Let's stick on the theme here. Let's just go with, the tried and true. We go Travis Kelce. We're going to go with big Kelce getting into the end zone. We may have gotten away of a pass meant for Juju Smith-Schuster and then tipped it that resulted in an interception. That may have been something that we have to wear. We might have to wear that badge. But from that point on, we came back and we caught big play. We caught a touchdown. We were making things happen. We're out here. Age is catching up to us. Age is really caught up to us at this point in time for Kelce, but that's okay. We're out there. We're making plays on third down when it's needed. We know where the soft spots are in zone. If you are going to leave us alone, if you were going to pay attention to the word, if you're going to pay attention to Rashee Rice, old, reliable kind of is here. And I think this is one of those games where I thought Kelce did a good job down the stretch when the offense started clicking, and he played well. And, shout out, I think it always sticks out to me when Kelce blocks well, when the blocking energy is there. I don't know if he's always a great blocker this year. Last year, he was better with the extra weight. This year, he hasn't been as good, but when the effort's there, it sticks out. And I thought this game, his blocking was one of the reasons some of the run game looked as good as it did. So toast game to Travis Kelce for getting a nice touchdown in front of the fiance.
Record.
I had a little Mahomes thing. Ready.
I'm so glad it was stolen.
I'm gonna do it.
I don't care. You can talk about Patrick Mahomes all day. It's a Chiefs podcast. Chief Patrick Mahomes is freaking good.
This is This is from NFL Plus. Patrick Mahomes joins Hall of Famer Peyton Manning as the only players ever with 40,000 passing yards in their first 9 seasons, including the playoffs. Unbelievable. But what's even more amazing is Troy Aikman is 58 and still hasn't thrown for 40,000 yards in his NFL career.
Loser.
Oh,
You talk about how Troy Aikman was carried by a running back like some other of these quarterbacks around here.
yeah. I mean, he's
Patrick Mahomes hasn't been carried by a running back. Nobody can argue that.
and Michael Irvin. He had a good thing going.
That man was carried. I wasn't alive, but he was carried.
That's gonna do it.
Wait till you hear about the offensive line, Tuck.
Oh, don't get me started.
Good defense. Deion
Well,
Sanders.
That dude just had to show up. He had to put his pads on. That's it. That's all he had to do. And apparently he's a Hall of Famer for that.
That's all he's doing on Monday Night Football these days. That's going to do it for this episode of the KCSN Postgame Show. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, supporting. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.
And Kit can celebrate because Broderick Martin didn't play.